Hi guys, this is Claire. Welcome to my blog. This will be my first assignment for my critical thinking class. As I will be reading an article and evaluating it as a critical thinker would. My article that I chose was Gay Marriage. Why would it affect me? 10 Arguments Against Same-Sex Marriage. This is a synopsis of the new book by Dr. James Dobson, Marriage Under Fire. Argument 1. Same-sex marriage decays families. Fallacies that I found. So when the author writes half of children today are born out of wedlock, it's really irrelevant. It doesn't have anything to do with the argument. It doesn't even remotely concern gay marriage. What are you trying to get at? Very irrelevant. There is no connection to same-sex marriage, so the fallacy here would be red herring, which is diverting the attention away from the main argument. It appears likely now that the demise of families will accelerate this type of decline dramatically, resulting in a chaotic culture that will be devastating to children. This can be thought of as a slippery slope fallacy, where the assumption is that same-sex couples will lead to more children being born out of wedlock. Also, this is just a little bit of fallacy of red herring because it's completely irrelevant. The Weekly Standard described how the advent of legally sanctioned gay marriage unions in the Scandinavian countries. Immediately, I just thought same-sex couples can't get married in the US because Scandinavia is doing the right thing. So again, that was just kind of irrelevant to the topic. He's talking about gay marriage in America, and yet he brings up an argument in another country. The Apostle Paul described a similar society in Romans 1. Immediately, this is going to be, a biblical reference. There are a lot of basic emotionally charged language that I found. Phrases like decaying of families, demise of families, and it makes it seem like the idea of a change in family structure is a completely negative extreme that's happening in the US, like it's a huge issue. Ambiguities. When the author writes, destroyed the institution of marriage. What does this destruction of marriage look like? What is destruction of marriage? I'm not sure what that means. This argument is ambiguous because one may have a different view as to the destruction of marriage is, or what it is, and what kind of destruction, if any, is occurring when gay people get married or when anyone gets married. Argument 2. Gay marriage will lead to polygamy. In Utah, polygamist Tom Green, who claims 5 wives. Again, this is right off the back an example of completely irrelevant information, and it's just totally off as far as what is the basic argument of the which is same-sex couples and same-sex marriage. The author used the heterosexual case of polygamy to argue that homosexuals have no right to get married. It doesn't fit. It's not valuable. It's not even to the situation, Why will gay marriage set the table for polygamy? The author writes, and then he responds. He answers his own question. Because there is no place to stop once that game has been crossed. Another example of slippery slope. One is assuming that the polygamy of some sort of instigator to gay marriage, and it doesn't make sense. It doesn't flow. There's no kind of logical connection between polygamy and gay marriage and what polygamy could do or what polygamy cases mean for gay marriage in the future. So again, this is illogical. Argument number 3. States will no longer protect marriage. An even greater objective of the homosexual movement is to end the state's compelling interest in marital relationships altogether. So, How exactly do you know what the homosexual agenda is? What exactly is their plan? What have the gays planned for us that we are obviously not seeing? Um, Not only is this ambiguous, it's a straw person fallacy. I mean, you're pretty much saying that the gays are gonna do some terrible, disgusting thing, and they're not. The author here is just basically setting up an entire false argument against his own to try to like boost up his own argument, and it's made up. It's not even real. The gays are not gonna try to take over the world. After marriages have been redefined, divorces will not be obtained instantly, will not involve a court, and will take on the status of a driver's license or hunting permit. Just the name of this argument is ridiculous. The states will no longer protect marriage from what? Why is marriage in danger? Um, what is the state fighting against? Two people in love? Um, who is threatening the marriage? You know, it's very ambiguous as far as who or what force could be possibly threatening marriage, other than the opinion that gay marriage ruins it, but that doesn't really make much logical sense. Frankly, the only people who need protection from marriage are the people whose rights are being infringed upon, people who can't get married. So this can be thought of as an appeal to emotion. Because of the word protect, you also kind of get like a feeling immediately you think protect, you have to, it's your duty, you have to do this, people are in danger. And it could also be thought as slippery slope because they're assuming that gay marriage is going to literally redefine marriage and make it work as a simple hunter's permit, which I'm sure the government will not just give those out willy-nilly. You're not going to see a bunch of 14-year-olds getting married to each other. In conclusion, there have been a lot of slippery slopes and other fallacies and ambiguities that make this argument very, very difficult to take in, very difficult for a critical thinker to want to accept. Logically, you just would reject it because of so many fallacies and ambiguities present. It kind of makes the text, off. It makes it difficult. Thank you for tuning into my blog. I will hope to post another very soon of my next article evaluation using critical thinking. You have been clarified.